Okay, so welcome to this video. So how one can calculate the chromatographic purity is the topic of today's discussion. I am going to walk you through the three different ways of calculating chromatographic purity. So let us begin with the presentation now. So these are the three different ways by which one can calculate the chromatographic purity or the percent impurities present into a given sample. The first one is by using area normalization technique. The second one is by using diluted standard. And the third one is by using the actual impurity to evaluate the chromatographic purity or by impurity against impurity method. Now let us talk about when one can use the area normalization technique for the chromatographic purity. So in case if there is a similar response for impurity and the principal peak, it can be your selected wavelength, right? If at selected wavelength you can get the similar response for the impurities and the principal peak, then you can think about using the area normalization method. The second important prerequisite is what? There must be a linear response observed for an analyte, that is your principal peak, from LOQ to the test concentration. From LOQ to the test concentration. And just have a look at this figure now. So in this figure you can see that there is a proper linear response observed from the lower concentration to the higher concentration. So there are two important requirements if you understand this. If you want to use the area normalization method for the quantification of impurities, the first requirement is what? There must be a similar response for your impurities and the analyte or the principal peak or the API. And the second one is your response for analyte peak must be having a linear response from limit of quantitation concentration to the test concentration. So if these two requirements are met, you can happily use area normalization technique for calculation of chromatographic purity. Now let us understand what is the second technique that you can use for the chromatographic purity evaluation, and that is diluted standard. So when the diluted standard is used, so in case if you are found too high response, or because of that the peak gets saturated at the apex, then probably you will not be able to use the area normalization technique. And let us understand what is meant by peak saturation with the help of simple diagram. So look at this peak now. So this peak has got saturated at the apex, at the tip. And because of this saturation, right, because of the detector response is not linear at the high concentration, you will see the graph of concentration versus absorbance or the response, which is a non-linear, right? If you look at this particular graph, you will find that up to certain points, the response is found to be linear. Let us say the point number 1, point number 2, and point number 3. So up to these 3 points, you can see there is a linear response. But the moment you move to the, let us say, the concentration of 40 ppm, right? This is the fourth point, which belongs to the 40 ppm constant response. It is not linear, right? And it has got reduced. The response of the analyte has got reduced at the 40 ppm. It is not proportionately increased if you compare against 20 ppm, right? And further 80 ppm it is further reduced. And because of this reduced response at the higher concentration, probably you will not be able to use the area normalization technique. And why we are so much worried about the response at the higher concentration? Because in case of chromatographic purity, you are going to usually have the higher concentration for the test solution. so that you can able to detect the impurities at the required quantitation level, at the LOQ level. So it is very important to understand what is the response of analyte at the test concentration, which is always a high concentration. So the point number one is, if there is a non-linear relationship between analyte concentration, especially analyte at the test concentration, and impurity at the spec level, then you must think about the diluted standard technique. And I am going to explain you how one can use it. The second point is, if the response is linear, and no peak saturation is observed, right? Let us understand what kind of calculation is possible. So this is a hypothetical example. Impurity concentration is what? 10 ppm. Let us assume that your spec limit for impurity is 10 ppm and you got the area of around 10. Your analyte concentration is 1000 ppm. Your test concentration is 1000 ppm and you also got the 1000 area, because you are assuming that the response is linear and there is no peak saturation happening. So if you calculate the percent impurities, you will find that 1%. Now in case if the same experiment, but if the response is not linear, right? This is the response is non-linear, and if the peak saturation happens, now this is the kind of situation you will come across. So the impurity concentration is 10 ppm. Now at impurity concentration level, at 10 ppm level, there will be no a peak saturation happening and you will have the linear response. So you will get the 10 area once again. But as now in this case, there is a saturation happening because of the non-linear response, you will end up getting only 800 peak area instead of 1000 peak area, which was observed in case of there is no peak saturation and linear response. So if you calculate the percent impurities now, you will end up with 1.25%, which is actually a 1% impurity content in the given sample. But just because your sample is getting saturated, right, at the higher response, your response is non-linear. Because of that, you end up overestimating the impurity present into the sample, which is not a pleasant situation for you. And for that reason, you should not use the area normalization method in case if your response is non-linear and the peak gets saturated at the apex. So what are the another techniques that you can use in such situation? You can use the diluted standard technique in such a situation. Now, what is meant by diluted standard technique, right? So you need to understand, okay, at higher concentration, the response is not remains linear. I will show you in the diagram now, right? At the higher concentration like 40 ppm or 60 ppm or 80 ppm, the response is found to be a non-linear. So let me understand within the which range of concentration my response is linear for the given analyte. So can I say that the point number 1, point number 2 and up to point number 3, which is at 20 ppm, up to 20 ppm, I can say that the response for analyte is linear. So if I set the concentration of standard now in between this range from, let us say this is assumed to be 1 ppm and this is now 20 ppm. If I set the concentration of standard from 1 to 20 ppm, I will get the similar response. But now my concentration of standard is not like the test concentration, and it is lower than the test concentration, and hence it has got diluted. So it is called as the diluted standard method. So preferably now, in most of the cases, Analysts try to fix the concentration of diluted standard close to the specification for impurities. So it can be preferably unknown impurity, but provided you must check the linear response around whatever may be the concentration of your diluted standard. It must be a linear. So by this way, the diluted standard method can help you out to quantify the impurities present into a given sample. And the third one is the against impurity standard. Right now, this is the most accurate method, right? This is the most accurate method because you are quantifying impurities against the impurity standard. But the challenge for using this technique is what? The availability of the impurity standards. Because the impurity standards sometimes are not available, they are costly, time consuming, they are unstable, and because of that, you may not be able to use impurity standard during every analysis for the chromatographic purity. Now, to sort out this issue, one can evaluate the relative response factor for the impurities. And the moment you have the relative response factor in your hand, then same can be used during the calculation. So by this way, right, one can use these three different techniques: area normalization, diluted standard technique, or impurity against impurity calculation to evaluate the chromatographic purity of your sample. So I hope now you must have got the better clarity, in which technique is suitable in your case. So there is no one technique is superior than another technique. It is only the situation given, and in that situation, which one is better for your use. So you must choose the quantification technique wisely. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will meet you soon in another video with such kind of useful and informative information. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye bye.